Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for being here. If you are wondering why we are laughing, it means that you're not here live and you're watching on YouTube, which means you missed our pre-show, which is where we talk nonsense and sense amongst us before we start recording. So welcome for everybody that's here live. Thank you for taking time out of your week to hang out with us at this late at night if you're on the East Coast or furthermore. Thanks so much. Thank you to everyone on YouTube who is catching the replay, who's catching the recording. We appreciate you tons for following, for sticking around and supporting us and everything. We hope that you join us live next time though to catch all the really good fun before and after the show. We only record for an hour here, and we go on into Q&A past the hour, and before the hour, we also do the pre-show. So next time, join us. I am Darling, and this is Susan.
No, where do they find you? What do you do?
You can find me at xoxdarling.com. I am an intuitive guide, coach, and a brand crafter / designer. So if you want to know what all that entails, head on over to my website, xoxdarling.com, and it explains more about what I do. And this is Susan.
Hi, thanks everybody for being here. We missed the full moon hangout. We were saying in the pre-show, it's for good reason. Okay, but we're back. Thank you for being here live. Whenever you're here live, for the people who are watching this on replay, if you're here live, you get full, like what happens before we come on in the recording. And then after we record for a full hour, we still go on into more Q&A. And I think tonight, if we don't get too bogged down, there's going to be something special I'm going to give a reading for in the post show. We'll see. Susan Grace is where you can find me, susangrace.org. Susan Grace on Facebook, and Susan Grace Astro, I think, is on Facebook, on Instagram. I give readings every day for the energy for the collective, no matter what. And you can find my readings, which are natal chart readings, tune-up readings, which are follow-up. And I just started a class. I'm going to teach you everything I know over 4 weeks. Until June 8th, you get $100 off. June 22nd, class starts. And I'm really going to tell you everything I know, because if anybody should know how to look at your chart and read it, it should be you. And I'm going to tell you how to do that. If you're attending live, chat is on your screen right. Up at the top, you can change your view from gallery view to, what's the other one? I get this wrong every time.
Speaker view. You want it in gallery.
Yes. You want it in gallery, so the person talking is the big fat face in front of you. And if you are in chat, in the very lower part where you type in a chat, you can choose between, I think, is it everyone and panelists?
Yep.
Okay. It defaults to panelists. If you choose panelists, I promise you we're not going to see it because we're talking right now. So choose everyone, and everyone will be able to see your chat. And if you have a question for us, please put it in Q&A, which is totally different from the chat room. Q&A is down below, and it says Q&A.
I feel like that's why
I know. It says Q&A. put it in Q&A. We're going to go into Q&A. Usually we go into it the last 15 minutes that we're talking. But if you're here for the after hours, we answer all questions until we're done. And if we don't have an overload of questions tonight in particular, we're going to go into something else that you want to hang around for. How's that? How you like me now?
How you like me now?
Okay, new moon Gemini.
Go.
Ready? Okay, I'm going to hit you with Astro. Everybody who doesn't care about Astro, this is nap time. Okay? New moon means that the moon is crossing the sun, right? Right now it's at Gemini. It's already done this. It was at 4 degrees Gemini. That means that there's a new day erupting right now. The aspects that influence this new moon, it happened at 3:44, I think 3:44, 3:42, I can't remember. Go to my Facebook page, you can see. I think it was 3:44 p.m. Eastern. At 3:44 p.m. Eastern, there was a square to Neptune and Chiron, and that means that your mind's trying to open up, but it's scared about being hurt again. It was opposing Saturn retrograde and the galactic center in Sagittarius at the same time, which meant that your purpose is trying to come online, but your mind can't wrap its head around it yet. But it is now. Okay? At the same time, it was trining into Jupiter retrograde at, I think it's 13. I can't remember. I think it's 13 in Libra, meaning that sacred unions are trying to come online if you'll get your head out of the way. Concurrently, Mars has been at, for the last couple of days, 22 degrees Gemini, meaning there's a brand new way that you're willing to take action in the world if your head can just get around it. All of that is happening at the same time. There's a lot of head stuff going on. Like, if we can break down the head, we can come out of hurt, we can get into purpose, we can get into sacred union, all at the same time. Mercury is in Taurus, and it's saying, I need to figure out how to make this real. Right? That's an echo of what's happening in Gemini. When Mercury in Taurus is saying, how can I make this real? At the same time, Gemini is saying, okay, well, how we can make this real is to not be so fucking scared, to get into purpose, and to get into sacred union. That's how. And the degrees that this happened was so revolutionary that it doesn't match anything you've ever seen before. As of us talking right now, the degrees have changed in Gemini. Sun has gone into 5. Sun has gone into 5, and that's Gemini. Okay, so it wasn't, the new moon happened at 4, which means brand new shit's coming up. And your mind's going, oh, fuck. The sun is now at 5, saying, okay, let's make sense of this. Mars at 22, which is master level revolutionary, has also progressed into another degree. It's 23. It's the master level 5 in, okay, let's make sense of this. Both of those have happened since the new moon, like, what, 6 hours ago. So you were hit with a wave of, I don't know what the fuck is happening, and kind of scared to go with the wave. And now, as of this hangout, it's like, okay, let's do something with this. Like, let's make this real. Let's make this real. And there comes a time when you're being asked to make a leap that you've never made before, that no one's ever made before. There is no blueprint. There is no Cliff's Notes. There is no guideline for dummies. Nothing. You have to just fucking leap and trust that you'll figure it out when you fucking leap, when your feet land. When your feet land, then you'll figure it out. You're being called up. You're being called up, and it amounts to out of suffering, into purpose, sacred union. All of it comes together. Ta-da! Hooray! What do you think about that?
I think it's spot on. And I think that over the last few days, I've been, speaking a lot about that, about what people were feeling when it comes to, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And it felt a lot like, kind of like we were talking in the pre-show, where you see a lot of the old ways, or, you see a lot of things falling and a lot of things rising, and you're almost too afraid. You know that you cannot go back. You can no longer cling on to the things falling, but you also have no idea how to even touch that which is rising. And so that's where we were kind of prior. And it was very the way that I liked to compare it to was very like a mirror, like a house of mirrors, where you're just like, what is real, what is not, what the heck is happening, especially if you're not that aligned, right? If you haven't been that aligned. And so what that has caused a lot of, if I'm like brutally honest and blunt, is I've seen a lot of people who have just completely lost it. I've seen a lot of people who have, known to kind of like hold their center and just hold tight and haunted house it. And I've seen a lot of people who have just decided to sit down and cry and whine and complain about their situation. And so I'm hoping that what you're saying now, right, like the shift in degrees has people getting back up and saying, okay, walking forward. Because the truth of the matter is that we've been talking about this for a long freaking time. Like, we've been talking, I remember Susan saying, like, does it get better? No. Back in October, like, this ain't gonna get better.
Sorry.
This is like,
there is no better. No.
There is no better. And so I know that the question that I feel led to answer right now is, okay, well, if there is no better, then how are we letting go of suffering? And the truth of the matter, because most people will logically be like, well, if it gets worse, that equates to suffering, but it doesn't. It doesn't. And I feel like that's a part of our shift. It's almost like a shift in perspective.
Yeah, and I feel like not what I feel like as in right now in this conversation.
Yeah.
What I've been feeling and experiencing in the last few weeks, and we've talked about this before, if you're in an empath, then you get transits earlier than other people do. Okay. What I have been experiencing leading up to where we are now is that the rising, I feel like, no. I started to say I feel like shit about this, but I don't.
I don't.
I don't feel like shit, because you can't possibly know until you're in it. For a long time, I've been saying that we're part of the rising. We're a web of sacred union that's purpose-driven, and we will replace a paradigm that's already dead and being dismantled. And so just get ready. When it starts being dismantled, you just have to be the voice for, this is not our falling, this is the beginning. Here we go. Right? I've been saying that for a long time. What I didn't realize until the last few weeks is that there are a lot of things that are the old paradigm that are really comfortable, that are really personal, that feel like they are your identity. And when that old comfortable paradigm is on its knees, and you have to still maintain, I'm going up and I'm not going to pull you up with me.
It's a tearing.
That's fucking painful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's really fucking painful. And I'm past the point of sugarcoating this shit. Like, we're in it. It gets to the point of where it becomes really painful. It becomes painful not just because you're watching people not go up with you by their own decision, but it becomes really painful to rise up out of an old paradigm, right? That has told you and conditioned you, and not just you, everyone.
Yeah.
It has conditioned everyone to believe that if you go outside of this paradigm, you will not survive.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go out, if you're like, boom, nope, nope, I'm not participating in an old paradigm that's being torn down. I'm not going to do it. Back up. I choose my own freedom. Immediately, it feels like, fuck, I'm going to die.
Right.
Okay. And so here's why. I know you, I want to hear what you have to say next. Can I get one more thing out?
No, yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
So here's why everyone who's listening to this right now, right? A lot of people are very aware of their own past lives. Okay. When you're aware of your ancient suffering, eventually you come to understand that you're here for the rising because you're here for the fall. The fall happened around when Atlantis fell. When Atlantis fell, there was a massive rush of suffering that came towards us and took us under, right? And so now, opposite place of our orbit from our sister star Sirius, I know I'm nerding out right here, just
You're good.
bear with me. Now we're having the same experience of having a lot of suffering coming towards our face, but it's the opposite direction. That suffering's going down and we're coming up. Okay? And so whenever you break out of the mold of patriarchy, or if you don't believe in patriarchy, fuck it, whatever you want to call it, suppression, oppression, being in a cage, whatever the fuck, right? When you break out of that, if your ego says, I'm not going to survive, because the last time you were that free was right before the fall. And if you take yourself back to that amount of freedom, your ego remembers, okay, then a fall is about to happen, and it'll start all over again. See what I'm saying? So you have to tell your ego, I promise you it's not happening again. I promise it's not happening again. We have to break free now. So it's like if you did something that wasn't even your fucking fault, right? And you got put into solitary confinement, right? Solitary confinement for a long time, and someone says, come out. And something about you says, as soon as I come out, they're going to put me back in. It's painful to walk out of your cage. Really painful. Because you don't know if it's not going to happen again. And I'm telling you, it's not. It's not. The torches aren't coming. The fraud police isn't coming. We're not going down into the ocean. You're not going to be as destructive as you've always been before because now you're more aware. All kinds of shit. It's not happening again. We're on the way up. I'm done.
Waiting for that.
You're so sweet.
Well, I'm trying to word what I'm feeling the right way, because it's not disagreeing with you at all, but it's almost adding a point that I feel needs to be told. And on the contrary to most of our, and we've talked about this before, you and I, Susan, contrary to what people are normally used to, it's not very nice.
Oh, just fucking say it. Come on.
No. It's not me neither. What it is, it's real talk, right?
Go.
what you're saying is correct for the people on it. Because here's the deal. Just because Susan said so doesn't mean that we get to sit back and be like, it's okay. You know, like the frog in the water.
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
Right?
No.
Frog in the water, in the boiling water, thinking it's a fucking jacuzzi until it gets too hot and they get burned.
No.
Here's the deal. Okay. If it hurts, if it's I mean, it's going to be painful. It's going to be painful, right? The only thing that can take you down with it, as it did in the past, is your attachment to that which is not you. Okay? If you continue to stay attached to the things that are falling because you've been conditioned to believe that it is your identity, you've been conditioned to believe that you belong to it, you cannot spiritually ascend to the levels that is required to survive and not go down with the rest of it.
That's right.
It's what Atlantis as a society did not have when it fell.
Right. And what happened when what happened when it fell, for everybody who's here now for the rising, everybody likes to believe that we were the victims of the fall.
Yeah.
No, we created the fall.
Yeah.
We did. And so there's a lot of guilt involved. A lot of guilt involved about, fuck, we create dark shit. Maybe we should not be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
It gets really naughty.
Right.
I don't mean N-A-U-G-H-T-Y.
Naughty.
Yeah, I mean naughty. Or naughty, whatever.
Whatever works for you. Absolutely. And the thing is that the Matrix, if you will, what they've done is they've tried to coddle us in this cage that looked like a cocoon. It's okay. It's okay. You were responsible for that part. Here, let me give you this paradigm. It is you. It's okay. You're safe in it. Don't leave it. You're safe in it. This is who you are. This isn't falling. It's fine. So we attached our identity to these things, to these things, to this matrix, to this old paradigm, to this, whatever you want to call it, like you said, whatever you want to call it. You attach our identity. As this is falling away, the more it hurts, the more you're attached to it, which is why I was saying suffering is over for those who are doing the work. It's going to be over, because if you're still attached, that's going to hurt, and that's going to look a lot like suffering.
Okay, but let's have some compassion and talk about what it's like to be attached to suffering, because
painful.
Listen, we're both Scorpios. Look, like real talk, like you say, right? Real talk. There is something very romantic in suffering.
Yeah.
Because whoever's in it with you, you're in it with them forever. You want to make out with it. You're like, oh, right? There's almost, it almost feels like there's nothing more bonding than being in suffering together. That is a byproduct of the hell that we've been through, at least in the last 30 years, because of the transits that have been happening in Scorpio. Mm-hmm. We've had so many transits happening in Scorpio in the last 30 years. If you're alive and you're over 30, you've seen hell. You have. But it's over now. It's over now. I'm telling you, in this lifetime and never in another incarnation will you see the transits that you've seen in the last 30 years.
Agreed.
I'm telling you that right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important to understand that hell is over. You don't have to go into extreme pain that you both can recover from to be in love. No, no, no. You can go on a picnic.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on a picnic. You can be okay in stillness. You can think of purpose. Like a lot of people have been messaging me lately, like, what does purpose mean? Because they're used to extremes because of what's been happening in Scorpio for the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Purpose, I just told someone today, purpose can mean like if you really fucking love washing windows, get your ass out there and be the best window washer ever and make people be able to see the sunshine. That's contributing to the collective. If you're a baker, bake the shit out of whatever you're baking. I can never pronounce his name right, and I sincerely apologize for this. Out of deep respect, I apologize that I cannot pronounce his name. There is a Vietnamese Buddhist who was cast out of his country during the Vietnam War, and I think he went to France, and he started an orchard. It's that guy. People who are watching will know who I'm talking about. He's written a lot of books. At one point, he set himself on fire. So he was writing in a book, and I've been thinking about this particular concept a lot recently because I resigned from my corporate job. In my corporate job, I was so fucking spoiled. I could have anything. I showed you. I was on private jets, okay? And I was like, I'm king shit. But it was killing my soul. And so I resigned 2 weeks ago, and I gave away a lot of money, like a shitload of money, because I wanted my soul more. So I've been thinking about his lessons, and I've been thinking about what he was preaching, and not preaching, but what he wrote about. And at one point in one of his books, he said, whenever you're doing the dishes, do the dishes. And I was like, huh, like that made me cry.
Yeah.
Like, be mindful of the water. Notice like how is soap made? Witness how water and soap takes away things that feel dirty and make the plates new again. He didn't say any of this, but this is how I interpreted it. When you're doing the dishes, do the dishes. Do the dishes. Because now I'm going to bounce it off of me. What I've been saying for the last year and a half is presence is the new prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Presence is the new prayer. When you're doing the dishes, do the dishes. Do the dishes. Pay attention. I feel like I just went on for like 3 hours. Sorry, am I okay?
You're good. You're good.
All right.
You're good. No, yeah, that's the ongoing, that's almost in every single bit of advice that I give right now. It's like presence with yourself, with what's going on. And that's where you'll find the compassion. But I've just been so, like my self alchemy class, course mentorship. This is the last week of the second cycle, and I was talking to one of the mentorees. I think she's in here, and she was right there, like on the verge of her breakthrough. Like it was like this. It was that that feeling that you're talking about, that falling away kind of like, you know. And I have to tell you, Susan, it wasn't me going in there being like, hey, you know, you're fine. I literally had to
let her.
No, I had to get in her face. I had to get in her face.
Did you really?
I did.
Nice.
I had to get in her face, and it almost felt like I was like, do you see this right here? Now, do you see yourself? Like, this is not you. Like, this is not, it was a hardcore, and I remember telling her, because, you know, Susan, that over the last month, this has been like, not new to me, but a newfound connection with me, with my, like you've been saying, like my
the warriors coming out. Wow. Yeah.
Right. And I remember telling her where I was like, I'm sorry I'm being so hard on you, but literally everything is on the other side of this breakthrough.
That's right.
Literally everything for you. So it would be irresponsible of me to not show this exactly the way that you need to hear it and see it, no matter what it is. And she broke through. Holy crap. She had a huge breakthrough after that. And it was the detachment, the letting go, should I say?
Nice. Yes. I was just about to say the same thing. I was just about to say, can I fine-tune this? It's because, like, if you think about like the original well that I said in my first branding with you, I love you. When you're at the bottom of a well, there are well watchers who will be like, fucking climb, bitch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Climb. Come on. I got you. And they never leave the top of the well, but they don't get into the well and roll around into suffering with you. Perfect.
Yeah, because we're suspended from something, right? It brings us back.
Right.
I literally felt like I was there, and she's like, but I love. No, you
Nope. Climb, bitch. Climb.
Let's go.
Let's go.
It's just like, oh my God, you're right. Step up. Now
climb.
This and that. No, don't look at that. Step up.
That's right.
This moment, and which is where that's coming from, which is where I'm just like, yes, everything you say, it is absolutely true. But we have to do the work. We have to do the work. We have to do the letting go in our lives. What's calling us to let go, you know, with the feeling of letting go and the feeling of embracing. There's like letting go and embracing. There's so much.
Are you talking about us?
In general, everybody.
Okay. First of all, you have cards, and I think we should have cards. I'm going to spend 4 minutes talking about the concept of rising and falling while you shuffle cards. Right? How do you feel about that?
Feels good.
Cards are next. I'm going to talk about this one concept within 4 minutes. Ready? Go.
Let's do it. Go.
I want to touch back on the concept of whenever the rising happens, and it's happening now, you're going to witness things, people, places, ideas. They're going to fall away, and you're going to be heartbroken. You're going to say, holy fuck, I thought that was actually me. And now it's dead. Fuck. And it's going to feel like shit.
Did I just die?
Yeah. Did I just die? Right?
Yeah.
It's going to feel awful. I did not anticipate this. I said it earlier in the recording. Okay. I'm saying it again. It's going to feel fucking challenging. Really. And I'm telling you, you're not alone. You're not alone.
No.
It gets to a point, especially people around midlife transits, and this is what I want to talk about now. Especially people around midlife transits, it starts to feel like that happens between 36 and 43, roughly. Okay. When you're in midlife transits, it starts to feel like there's an old version of you dying, and you've run out of humans. That's what it feels like. I've run out of humans and I'm almost dead. That's what it feels like. And so people in midlife transits look at people like you No offense, Sterling. Whenever you're going through your Saturn return, we're like, wait till you're 40, bitch. Yeah, okay.
I know, right? And I'm just like, yo, come on. Damn.
That's okay.
I like 10 years.
I'll walk you through it. Anyway, what happens is that you come to know yourself in a brand new kind of way, right? The reason why I bring up midlife transits right now is because we're having a shit storm happening in Gemini, and it's triggering Libra. In Libra, Pluto and Libra people are being triggered so fucking hard, they don't even know what to do with it. Okay, so while you shuffle, I'll spend, like, everybody who doesn't have Pluto and Libra, take a nap. Okay, can I spend like 2 minutes on it? 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Freaking Mintrad.
Pluto and Libra people are being triggered so fucking hard, it's ridiculous. And here's what it looks like. You have to open up your mind that relationships don't look like anything you've been taught before. You have to open up. You have to open up. And you have to understand that Pluto and Libra, or Pluto in any sign, it always takes you down to the core, but it never leaves you there. Pluto rules Scorpio. Scorpio is about not death, it's about transformation. Pluto will take you down all the way to the fucking ground, but it resurrects you. Pluto is about resurrection. Okay? And so everyone who's getting triggered with their Pluto and Libra, and there's a lot of us out here, the point is, please understand that you can never go back to what you thought relationships were before. You can't go back. Say no to everything that robs you of your life. The new boundary that Pluto and Libra is trying to draw is that the space between us shall remain sacred at all times. We won't dump our shit here. We won't lie here. We won't bring other people in and let them dump their shit here, or whatever, right? The space between us shall remain sacred. That's what's being triggered by the Gemini placements right now. Trust that. Pluto and Libra people, and there's a whole generation of them. Trust that there's someone, no, not someone. There's a generation of people who understand where you are. We get it. We're in. The space between us is the only boundary that needs to be made. This is the only boundary that we need to have. In this space, everything is sacred. If it falls away from that, then we're going to let the relationship fall away. It would be lovely, and everybody who's been in a reading with me lately has heard me talk about this, because I keep getting Pluto and Libra people coming at me. It would be lovely if we're with someone for the rest of our lives. That would be lovely. But we won't know that until we're at the end of our lives. And in the meantime, we have to drop the cage around ourselves, drop the cage around other people, drop the cage around relationships in general, and only have a boundary between us that says, this shall remain sacred. This shall remain sacred. And if you don't agree with that, go over there and do not this. Go do that over there. Okay? Gemini is lighting up Pluto and Libra people. Really, really, we're feeling it. All right. And I'm done with the lecture. Go ahead.
I'm up.
Wake up! Pluto and Scorpio people. Oh, do you want me to give you a rundown on Pluto and Scorpio people?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
There's
You're like,
some of us
hello, what about me?
There's some of us in here.
All right.
One time for my Pluto and Scorpio.
So what happens with Pluto and Scorpio people, same deal. Pluto comes in and says, this much is in integrity and it gets to live and everything else is going to die. And Scorpio is about truth, boundaries, trust, intimacy. Ooh, ooh. And so you see a lot of people going, maybe polyamory is awesome. Okay, meet you when you're 40. Okay.
I feel like this is like the constant struggle between like everybody's hatred for millennials. This is what it feels like right now. Where it's just like, you don't know shit, bitch. Wait till you're 40. And we're just like,
darling,
a little bit of shit.
Do you think that you're the only person who felt that way?
No, my entire generation feels this way.
No, darling, we felt that way too. You get to feel that way. You get to feel that way. It's okay. You're every generation, like we were like, I don't know, were we the grunge or the slackers or whatever the fuck? Nobody thought we were going to do anything. And we're like, fuck you.
And look, you guys created
and look, we're saving you.
You created millennials. Congrats.
No, we're saving you. God damn it. You're not listening. You're not listening, of course.
Fucking millennials.
Okay, Mom. Look, I'm telling you, please, I'm trying to talk to, you're not in trouble, darling. Look, Pluto and Scorpio, right? Pluto and Scorpio, you guys are going to fuck shit up. Like, really? You guys are going to be the generation? Like, everybody's thought about, maybe we should burn it down and start over. Pluto and Scorpio people are like, yeah, we're actually going to. Boom.
We're touching the trigger.
We actually are. Boom. And as far as the relationships are concerned, like Pluto and Libra generation people, we've been like, oh, let's drop all cages and let's have beauty and harmony and flow. And then it doesn't matter if you put a GPS on his car, he's still going to be an asshole, but you just deal with that, whatever. And you guys come up, exactly, that look on your face, you're like, hello, you need a couple boundaries. You guys,
hold off there.
You guys are going to be all or nothing. And this is where really where polyamory is coming up to the surface, where you guys are like, oh, okay, Pluto and Libra, how about we love everyone? Let's see what happens with that. And you guys are going to get burned really fucking hard. And you're going to enforce the fact that you do actually need boundaries, God damn it. You need to be able to find relationships or people get pissed. Really fucking pissed.
Word. I can be the spokesperson.
Right. So it's going to be a combination between bringing forward how we have to stop putting people in cages, and you guys are going to, as far as relationships are concerned, and you guys are going to pick that up and say, okay, that sounds all nice and shit, but you still have to have boundaries.
Right. It's similar to what I think I posted this the other day, where I was just like, you know, imbalance only happens in extremes. And I feel like we go from one extreme where it's like cages to like, you know, zero boundaries. And it's in that middle. It's in that.
Oh, I didn't even understand that. When you wrote it, I was like, I think I like this, but I'm not sure why.
Right.
But it's true. It's right. Either cages or unadulterated freedom where people get hurt. And the balance is you need appropriate like spaces between, and people are allowed to breathe.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Balance. Everything always goes to shit in extremes.
Right.
Always.
I like it. 12 minutes. Do you want to draw cards?
I drew already. I've got 3 here.
Okay, draw cards, and then just FYI, we're going to cut off the recording in 12 minutes.
So submit your questions.
But if you're live, we're going to go after. We're going to go after. Okay.
Yeah. So pulled 3 cards that were like perfect, right? The Kuan Yin Compassion card.
Oh,
right?
Like
right.
Yeah.
So releasing judgments about yourself, and others, and focusing on the light that's within everyone. And so again, like I was saying, compassion looks like many things, you know.
I'll tell you what compassion, I'm going to put this out there. I attacked you a couple weeks ago, and compassion looked like you saying, and take a deep breath, Susan's having a moment. Because you know the real me.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I appreciate that about you. That taught me something. It taught me that sometimes people go through things and it's not personal. If it is personal, that's another issue, right?
Right.
But between you and I, we're in sacred union. Whenever I was going through a moment, you just got really quiet. You got really still, really quiet. You became a whisper. And you were willing to listen to me when I came back to you.
Of course. Yeah.
Not of course. I could be an asshole, but you know that I'm not an asshole.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that. In relation to the compassion card. The second one that we got is the Mother Mary Expect a Miracle card.
Okay, this is your turn.
Why?
Because I just did that. Come on.
Well, what I feel that we're getting from that card, it's exactly what this moon is trying to tell us. Like that rising, that vision, that grand vision that you're finally starting to embrace and see, like, we could do this. Like, we could do this. It's having faith in the fact, in the fact, or in the truth of the fact that I can't even talk because, of course,
you can do it. Come on.
In where it is, I'm telling you, like, my mind is going and my body's like, nope. Embrace in believing the fact that is you, and that this stuff that's falling away, having faith that you're healed from that is not you, that is not your identity. And so expecting that to happen, which ties into the next card, which is the Yamanya Golden Opportunity.
Oh.
Yep.
So the combination between those two, if you don't mind, I'm going to bring in a third person.
Yeah.
Amira Beth.
I thought about her as soon as I pulled.
Yeah. Amira Beth is always talking about, she talks about a lot of things, but one of the things that she keeps being consistent with me is, first of all, don't beat yourself up about your process. No, everything about your process is beautiful. And she says, like, when I'm face planted on the fucking floor and I've chopped off all the heads, she's whispering in my ear, I'm still on your side. I'm still on your side.
Yep.
Right?
Amira was the first person I went to when what happened with you. I was just like, yo, you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's a big gun. Because she's a big gun.
I was like, I can't. Not only that, we're in the position where I was like,
yep,
I can't. But she did it.
The other thing that she talks about consistently is that you have to take a step for the path to appear under your foot. It doesn't happen in reverse. Right?
Yep.
Right? You take a step and the path appears under your foot. that takes an enormous amount of trust.
Mm-hmm.
And she talks about that all the time. And I think it's fucking brilliant.
She posted about Yemanya today. I think it was today.
Did she really?
Oh. Today or yesterday, which is why when I pulled it, I was like, oh, my girl.
Right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like, I love her. I love her.
I love it.
She's my girlfriend. Do you know, I'm going to say this like for everyone. She sends me a text message of a picture of Kauai every fucking day because she's like, I'm not giving up on you. You will be in Kauai and I'm going to send you a picture every goddamn day. I don't care if you get sick of me. And I'm like, I'm like, I'll never get sick of this. Are you kidding me?
She's getting close to it.
Right? I know.
And I'll go visit you guys there. I am not leaving Florida.
No, not visit. Not visit. More than visit.
I will visit often.
You will come to live.
I cannot move to Kauai.
It'll happen. Come on.
When my kids are 18.
Maybe when you're 50. Okay, fine.
Yeah. That's when she went. Well, not when she was 50, but she went when she was done with her children.
And that bitch looks like she's 20, okay? She sent me a picture the other day where she was around the waterfall. And I'm like, oh, look at that. A picture when Amira was 21. And she's like, yeah, that's what I felt like at the time. But it was taken like fucking yesterday. And I'm like, what the fuck?
When you go to Kauai and you go in those waters,
I know.
You're going to come out a mermaid.
Yes, I will be very beautiful. All right, go.
But yes, it's funny because I think somebody said, where were you 30 years ago or something like that? And she's like, in a minivan, raising kids. I was like,
right
now.
Right.
Yes, I will see y'all in 20 years.
I'm telling you, life begins at 40. I'm telling you, life begins at 40. Okay?
I'll see y'all later.
So, we're going to see. I'm going to drag you up to 40 so fast.
I'm starting to feel there, considering I'm around all of you.
I'm going to get you acid. Yeah, right. Oh my God. Another card. But Darlene's catchphrase is, everybody calm down. Because she's surrounded by everyone around her is in midlife transits. And she's like, can everybody just calm down? Yeah. And all of us are like, no, we can't.
Yes, we can. Everybody sit down.
Everybody just calm down.
Bro.
Anyway.
This little millennial.
Can you tell we haven't talked in a while? We're like, no. This is going to be the weirdest recording ever. Anyway. Okay, 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Let's do Q&A.
Okay. We can bang out Q&A for 4 minutes, yeah?
Yeah, there's only 7 questions.
Oh, you people have disappointed me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's see. Ooh. This is such a good question. Is it fair to say that a significant part of breaking the conditioning paradigms includes breaking societal templates of what we believe love and relationships to be? Would this include letting go of the ideology of right and wrong in the pursuit of a heart-led existence?
Okay, I'm going to boil that down into, I suspect that person is in midlife transits. And in midlife transits, there's a square between Pluto and Libra and Pluto and Capricorn. And both of those mean, I'm presuming here, because that's what it sounds like. Pluto and Libra says, I'm going to define my relationships how I want to define them. I don't give a fuck what people say. And Pluto and Capricorn says, I'm going to live by my own rules. When you get into that square in midlife transits, yeah, you start doing whatever the fuck you want. Yes, that's fair.
Okay. The next one is, how about the Pluto and Sagittarius generation?
I almost don't want to answer this because they're going to run with this. You guys are going to be the people who declare the new philosophy. So within your generation, the church will fall. Within your generation, you'll be happy about that. Within your generation, you'll say, there is a new way to see God universe, and we are here to declare it, and that is it. That's it. Get ready. Pluto and Sagittarius people are going to change the way that we see our existence.
Nice. Okay. This is really funny. This question. I would love advice if able. I just got back with my husband, who I separated from for a short time. It feels like the space was needed. Oddly enough, he is Pluto in Libra, and I'm Pluto in Scorpio. I guess my question is...
Don't laugh. You're laughing. Stop laughing.
Do you know why I'm laughing?
I don't know yet.
Well,
oh, yeah, I do. Yeah. Yes, I do. Anyway, keep going.
After she tells me not to laugh, it's just cracked up.
God damn it. You're listen, let's be respectful for the question.
They need to know I'm laughing because I went through the same thing.
It's the same shit going on in that house, okay?
Yeah, like identical. Okay, so I guess my question is, any advice on moving forward with our relationship, having acceptance for differing perspectives? Thanks so much.
Darling, come on. Don't be a dick. You have to do this.
Come on, darling. So I'm trying to see what part is the exact question. Okay, so she's saying accepting differing perspectives.
Just talk about the concept, honey. The difference between Pluto and Libra and Pluto and Scorpio. Come on. You know. Like, you're going to die without boundaries, and he's going to die if he has no boundaries. Like, fuck. What?
Yes. going through it, right? Where we got back together, and same thing. I am a Pluto in Scorpio. He is a Pluto in Libra. Same exact thing. And yes, what Susan just said, it's huge. You guys, Pluto and Libra, have a really hard time with boundaries. And like a really hard time with boundaries.
No, we're good with letting boundaries down because they're trying to be open. Okay, let's take the upturn on how to see this. We're trying to let cages fall, and you guys are trying to say, okay, perhaps there's a few boundaries that are needed, and it makes sense. Okay?
Yes. However, as human beings, we tend to do what I said, one extreme to the other.
Mm-hmm.
So the struggle, the challenge for Pluto and Libra is looking at needing boundaries or putting up boundaries without feeling like you're getting caged up again.
Yeah, there's a difference between boundaries and
bars,
walls slash cages, right?
Yep.
You can have boundaries, like past this line, none shall cross. That's you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Pluto in Libra, people saying we have to stop leading with walls. Leading with walls shuts everything down.
Yep. So the answer to that question, to be honest, it's knowing your differences. You can have different perspectives. That's fine. but it's as long as you know what those differences are. I think that that has been the biggest, most positive change that came after our breakup and getting back together, is that we have this insane, like we have agreed and have put in the effort to really see things the way the other person sees it.
Nice.
Like to really sit down and just say, okay, I understand where you're coming from because this is how you are. And so if this is how you are, then let me speak to that.
Nice.
And vice versa. This is how you are, then let me speak to that, and vice versa. So it's not a matter of, well, this is how I see it. Well, this is how I see it. No, it's a matter of, oh, that's how you see it. Okay. And vice versa. And make sure it's reciprocated.
Right. And if you're in a relationship where you have Pluto and Libra with the person with Pluto and Scorpio, understand that Pluto and Libra lessons are feeding into Pluto and Scorpio lessons, right? So for you, right? For you, darling, you have to understand that Chris has been learning, like, oh, fuck, I have to drop my walls, and that feels terrifying. Ah!
Mm-hmm.
And that feeds into your generation where you're like, okay, well, there are some boundaries that are appropriate. They're not walls. They're just boundaries, right? So one sign leads into the next.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And being able to sit down and say, let me show you the difference.
Right.
And then being like, oh, okay.
Now I got it.
Yeah. That's really important.
And then you can work with it, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. How do I break up with my suffering? Suffering and being strong about it has been a big part of my identity. I've been trying to find the way out, but can't.
2 Scorpios. Who's going to take this?
You.
Okay.
This is a well question. This question is coming from the well.
Yeah. I'm a double Scorpio, and I am a first house Mercury retrograde Scorpio. And I have all kinds of history about being in hell, whatever. So here's how you break up with your suffering, right? I don't know how old this person is. If this person is a teenager, I would give one angle of advice. If this person is in midlife transits, I would give one angle of advice. If this person is in their first Saturn return, I would give another.
I believe she's in midlife. Yep, she's in midlife transit.
Midlife. Okay, great. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, here's how you break up with your suffering. I would not say this to a teenager or a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old. In midlife transits, here's how you break up with your suffering. You can listen because you need to know. Here's how you break up with suffering in your midlife transits, right? Anytime suffering comes back up in your face, right? You don't analyze it. You don't analyze it. You don't make out with it. You don't invite it in for dinner. You don't say, here, sleep on my couch. None of that shit. You look suffering dead in the face, like seriously, dead in the face, and you say, I said we're done. We're fucking done.
That is so funny you said that.
I didn't think it was funny.
No, because with the person from my mentorship, she was in her midlife transit. And perhaps that's why that needed to happen that way, where I wasn't romancing it. Yeah. Like I normally do. I'm normally like painting this, like, I'm not like I'm talking them through it. With her, I was like, nope,
done.
Nope, you're not talking.
Once you get into your midlife transits, you're fucking done. You have to draw the line, and anytime that shit comes up and it starts to be like, oh, we should talk about it. You should make out with it. You should be in love with it. Maybe you should revisit it.
Yes.
Maybe you should marry it again. Okay. You have to look it dead in the face and say, nope, I said we're done.
That's exactly how it went down.
Midlife transits. That's the way it goes.
Yeah. That's how it was. Cool. I just think it's cool because as an intuitive, these things just come out, right? So I think it's cool. Like hearing it from you, it's like, oh, that's why it came out that way. I was just in a bad mood. Okay.
No, but really, before we leave this, it's important what you just brought up. It depends on where you are in life, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're a teenager, like let's think about this, right? Whenever when you're at your Saturn return, like, okay, how can you take responsibility for yourself? Or whenever you're getting to your 30s, like, maybe you're not under your parents' thumb anymore. Mm-hmm. When you get into midlife transits, oh shit. Like, nope, we're done. We're done.
Yeah. So I don't ever do this. And I think you know that. But that person, I'm not going to say the name just for the sake of anonymity.
Confidentiality.
Find me. Yeah. Thanks. Find me. If you can book a session with me, do it.
Great. Like, I swear by everybody needs Darlene, but if you feel like saying that to her or him, it could be me. You didn't have to say that, goddammit. I'm trying to leave it open for some hims.
The woman to men ratio in here. If I would have said him, it would have been like narrowed it down to like 3. And then you can narrow it down by age.
There are 3 men in here?
No, I don't think so. I saw 2.
Okay, anyway, go to the next.
Okay. Do you want to stop recording? It's 11:10.
Oh, shit. Yes. Stop recording.
Okay.
Okay, do your exit. How can people find you?
You can find me at xoxdarling.com. My Facebook.
What do you do?
What do? I offer one-on-one intuitive guidance sessions. I offer those single sessions. I also have my Self Alchemy 4-week mentorship program, which is actually undergoing a revamp as I am introducing one-on-one in it.
Nice.
Yes. So it's going from, a group experience where it's just online to the option of doing weekly one-on-one. So it's more of a one-on-one mentorship. With the breakthroughs that I saw in the last one, I was like, yeah, this one-on-one thing has to happen.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. And then on there, you will also be seeing my services geared towards those who have passion-driven businesses, where I do their branding and their messaging to make sure that it's aligned with their amazing sacred self. So I do all of that at xoxdarling.com. So go find me. And then Susan.
I'm Susan Grace. You can find me on Facebook under Susan Grace. I'm pretty certain that's where you find me. On Instagram, I think it's Susan Grace Astro. Okay, on Susan Grace Astro on Instagram, you see because Instagram operates this way, you see like an image and a template, which templates that Darlene designed. Brilliant. Darling, thank you.
Your website was not launched the last hangout, by the way.
I know. You cranked it out so hard. Like I can't. No, I'm not kidding about this. Seriously, you launched me in a way. Even whenever we were having differences, you're like, I got you. Even when we were having differences, you're like, I hold your vision. Means the world to me. And it should mean the world to everybody else too. Okay. Instagram, you'll see images and I'll post like shit or whatever. Really, if you want to read everything that's going on with the astro, like almost by the minute or by the half hour or the quarter hour, follow me on Facebook. Darlene has set me up on and that's under Susan Grace. God, is it double scorp?
Which
I
one?
think it's double scorp for
Which
my
one?
personal page.
Your personal page is double scorp, yes.
Double scorp on Facebook. Okay. So anyway, really the main thing is my website, susangrace.org. And on there, Darlene has branded me for the second time, thank God. I'm going to figure out how to post a blog.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're going to get love letters from me at the first month.
When you sign up.
Yeah, when you sign up, susangrace.org. And so anyway, I post every day on Facebook about the collective. And on my page, you can find readings with me that are one-on-one, natal chart readings, follow-up readings that are tune-ups. Third, I'm teaching a class where you get $100 off until June 8th. Class starts June 22nd.
And I will be there.
And my favorite people are all going to be, I see people registering. I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be amazing. Okay. And in that class, over 4 weeks, 2 hours every week for 4 weeks, I'm going to teach you everything I know about reading a chart. Everything I know. There's no secret. Come do it.
Come do it.
Okay.
No, that's okay, YouTube.
Thank you, YouTube.
Thank you. We will see you next time. Everybody, if you're here live, stick around.
Everybody live, stay here. We're going to have more.
All right.